people see a lot of black folk growing,
All right now.
racial tension begins to mount. But England is not the prime topic.
All right.
There's a lot of blacks in the army in Germany. And the Europeans are upset. So many blacks in the army mixing with their daughters. They once were happy to see blacks in Sweden and Norway, Finland and Denmark. But after they began to see the brothers with the white women and half-white babies, they began to become concerned. But nowhere on earth is there a white nation with so many blacks that are growing every day as in America.
All right now.
In the United States, black people are multiplying. Black people are increasing abundantly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Black people are becoming exceedingly mighty.
That's right.
And the land is filled with us.
That's right.
Everywhere you go in Washington, D.C., is us.
That's right.
Everywhere you go in Baltimore, in Philadelphia, in New York,
Yeah.
in Camden, New Jersey,
Yeah.
in Chester, Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
in Norfolk, Virginia,
Yeah.
in Alexandria. You look around, there's us. White folk can't seem to run high enough or far enough
Yep.
to get away from us. The scripture says, now there was who came over Egypt, who knew not Joseph, and he said unto his people, behold, the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. I'll explain that in a minute. Come on, he said, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and come to pass, that when war occurs, they join also unto our enemies. And remembering our evil to them, fight against us. So get them up out of the land. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Isn't that something? Now, dear brothers and sisters, that's in the Quran. That's in the Bible. It's not there talking about Jews of yesterday. That's why some Jewish people are angry with me.
All right now.
It's because I'm saying to them and to America and to white folks and to theologians, it ain't talking about nobody Jews of yesterday.
No.
It's talking about you and me and us in America today under the rule of the present government and its power. How many of you can see that it's talking about us? Raise your hands up. Then let's go on and get deeper. Look here. The demographers, those who study the statistical science dealing with the distribution, density, and vital statistics of populations, they have said that if the present birth rate of blacks continue, and if the present birth decline of whites continues, by the year 2083, blacks will either be equal to or greater in population than white people in America. White folk recognize that in less than 100 years, we will be the majority. And just think about what Run Jesse Run means 50 years from now, 60 years from now. See, that's just not a slogan. White folk don't talk about just today. White folk think about tomorrow, and they plan and they make policy today to make sure that tomorrow is theirs and not yours. They also say that at the present birth decline in whites, by the year 2000, whites will reach zero population growth, meaning for every white child that is born, a white person will die. So America on the white side is becoming older and grayer, while America on the black, Hispanic, and Native American side is experiencing an increasing growth of young people. This is what Pharaoh meant when he said they are mightier than we, because America is getting older, grayer. But black people, come on, all right, 6 out of every 10 of us is below 30 years of age. And when you got a young population that is fighting age and working age but don't have no job, then you got trouble on your hand, America. So listen to what they're scheming up on black people. Come on. Let's go back in the Bible and see what President Bush has planned. All right. And I want to warn you, black people, don't you ever get taken in by a smile and a pat on the back, because John Fitzgerald Kennedy was smiling with Martin Luther King Jr. while they were tapping his phones and planning his death. Don't you ever forget it. Don't you ever forget it. Listen to the words. Come, let us deal wisely with them. What is meant in the word wisely? Wisdom denotes a skill in doing something. Doing it in such a skillful way that you may do it but not be discovered. Doing your evil so skillfully that you get the people to participate in their own destruction. All right. The Pharaoh of yesterday said, let us kill the male and spare the female. That's what Pharaoh said yesterday. All right now. It's not accidental that the jails are filled with who? Who? Young black men. The streets are filled with who? Young black men. The army is filled with who? Young black men. Women on their way to college. Girls on their way to school. See them on the trolleys. On the subway. Where are you going, daughter? I'm going downtown to my job. The women have jobs, but the men have none. The women are going to school getting an education, but the men are not. Come on, right? They bring the big, strong black men to college. They don't care whether you get an education. You just a big piece of meat that is running a football, dunking a basketball, wrestling, running track, fighter. That's how white folk love to see their niggas. They can smile when you knock them down. I'll bet on so-and-so. They love it when you dunk and fly through the air. They like that. Oh, when you throw that hip and make that move and go through the line and get 6 points, they love it. That's that now ain't he all right? Come on. Oh, they love it when you get your guitar and say, ain't nobody loves me. They love it. Shout your blues, play your horn, dance, sing. That's what they like. But don't be a thinker. Don't challenge them in theology. Don't challenge their political thinking. Don't challenge them in education. Don't challenge them in science. For that breaks the mold that they are not used to. They want to package you and put you in a mold that they can deal with you and look down upon you bring our black men to college. And when you go on the college campuses, the black athletes are told not to get involved in any social action of the black students. They give them an apartment, a little stipend, and when you look around, here they come with a white woman on their arms. That's a lot. They have no time for the black woman anymore. They're in heaven now. Sisters, when you go to work downtown, I know how they make you feel. They'll open the door for you, won't they? How are you, Miss Jones? Give you that big smile. Then tell you that dirty joke. And when you laugh, all of a sudden they squeeze you where their hand shouldn't be. And then you find yourself going to bed with the children of your slave master. And you say white folk is all right. I got a white boyfriend, he just loves me to death. And that's about the size of it, baby. But if you look at your white lover that you're sleeping with, ask the white man, does he love your father? Does he love your brother? Does he love your uncle and your cousin? He hates the very shadow of your father. How in the hell could he love you? Just bear with me, brothers and sisters. The Pharaoh of yesterday said, let us kill all the males and spare the females. The Pharaoh of old used a crude methodology. He deemed it wise in his day to outright kill the man. But today the earth is a global village. And what is done with the whole world watching. So great skill and wisdom has to be employed by the modern Pharaoh to get the target group to participate in its own destruction. This is what is meant by the words, come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And should a war occur, they join on to our enemies. What does this mean? It tells us that there is a deliberate plan to stop us first from multiplying.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Into the birth control pill.
All right.
Now, most of you women, sorry about that, sisters, I gotta talk to you. You don't know the chemists who make the pill. You just use it because it's effective. Come on. But you don't know the side effects.
Come on now, brother.
Because your chemists are not there. So you're taking a pill. But the enemy is injecting the meat with hormones. Pump it up, they say. Fatten it up so we can take it to market. So while you are on the pill, you're feeding burgers with all of these hormones in it to your children, since you really don't have time to cook a decent meal. You let somebody cook it in a kitchen you know nothing about. Put chemicals in it that you know nothing about. You say, yeah, well, a lot of white folk is getting it. Don't you know they're glad to get rid of some of theirs to get all of you? I gotta talk to you tonight, Washington. And don't you get angry with me, you stop a moment and stop thinking about what I'm saying. Come on. Now you got an 8-year-old daughter, she got breasts. You were 14 and 15 and 16 before you saw a breast on yourself, that is. But now at 8 years old, you flowered. And 9 years old, daughter got a menses. She got a doll in one hand and a pad in the other hand, crying because she don't know what is going on in her life, and neither do you know. Now your daughter is growing sexually at 8 and 9, but there's no mother around to parent the child, no father around. Mother gone, father gone, the motherless child sees a hard time.
Yes, sir.
So at 10 years old, your daughter is pregnant. 11 years old, she don't know nothing about birth control. So the babies are now having babies.
Come on.
This is the society that we live in. They want us to stop the killing. Isn't that something?
Yes, sir.
Stop killing, they say. Isn't it awful? 360 some odd murders already. Isn't that terrible? Stop it on this end. But how many murders have been committed in the sterile offices of these abortion clinics? If you want to stop the killing on one side, you ought to stop the killing of innocent life that is coming into the world. Stop the killing.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is not the theme you wanted, is it? Here's a government that legalizes abortion. Legalizes killing the fruit of the womb. But if you kill it after it gets here, you gotta do life, but there's no penalty for killing it before it gets here.
Oh.
This is a crazy society.
Yes, it is.
They tell your children to respect the parents. Then they tell your children they can have an abortion and they don't have to tell the parent.
Yes, sir.
You're sick as hell. And you need a doctor, and the doctor is not your political leaders.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So the plan is decrease your numbers and make you participate in the destruction of yourself. Second, there's a plan to keep us from uniting among ourselves.
That's right, brother.
Never let black people come together.
All right now.
Never let it happen.
Yes, sir.
Keep the Catholics, the Baptists, the Muslims, the Jehovah's Witness, keep us all divided by religion.
Yes, sir.
Then divide us by region. Say this is a northern one, that's a southern one, this is an eastern one, that's a western one. This one is from the Caribbean, this one is from Africa. Keep them all upset and divided.
Yes, sir.
This one's a Kappa, this one's an Alpha, this one's a Delta, this one's an AKA. Keep them all divided. Not only must you keep them divided and hating each other, you must keep them from ever becoming international in their view. Because then, if they become international, they will connect with people that America considers her enemies. And also they must keep us from uniting with our own kith and kin in Africa, the Caribbean, Central and South America, and the islands of the Pacific. Keep them all divided. This plan has to be carried out on many fronts. To decrease our numbers, birth control. Create economic hardship and family instability.
Yes, sir. There it is.
Teach the people they're unable to care for their children. How can you have a baby? You can't have another one. You don't have the means, honey. Keep them so confused that they will willingly allow doctors to sterilize them. Give them a birth control death plan. Give them things, chemicals, to rinse out their private parts with that they have not the knowledge of, that will weaken the walls of the uterus, so when they really want to have a baby, the walls of the uterus are too weak to hold a baby. Kill the fruit of the womb. To keep us from unifying the government of the United States under J. Edgar Hoover, designed a counterintelligence program.
Tell it now. Tell it.
Designed to destroy any black group or any black leader
Tell it, brother.
who had the power to unite black people.
Tell it.
In this audience tonight, there are men and women of every political and religious persuasion. And there are men and women from every region of the world. Farrakhan then is a dangerous black man.
Hello.
But boy, let me tell you something. I laugh at your silly plans. I want to talk to you tonight.
Talk to it. Come on. Talk to it. Talk to it.
Look, brothers and sisters, Hoover designed a plan to destroy any black leader who could unify the masses of our people.
That's right.
And to do everything in their power to keep that black leader, once identified, from reaching black youth. Come on,
That's
come on.
right.
Dig it out. Did you hear me?
That's right.
They want no black leader that they identify that can unite black people to ever connect with black youth.
Yes, sir. Listen. Yes, sir.
I want you to listen now. Third, they must keep black people from unity with other oppressed people.
Listen to
They
it.
don't want any unity between the black and the Hispanic people.
That's right.
And if they see us coming together, they'll break it up.
That's right.
They want no unity with the black and the red, the Native American. They don't even want to see any thought of any coalition between black groups and poor whites.
Yes, sir.
They are threatened by any leader, any movement
That's right.
that can bring us together. Lastly, black people must be kept from any philosophy or ideology that will link them with other people of the world. Let us deal wisely with them.
Yes, sir. All right.
Y'all all right? Now look, brothers and sisters, how many of you remember Paul Robeson?
All right.
Paul Robeson was a brilliant scholar, artist, human being. He was more loved in Russia and in Europe than in America.
That's right.
He connected with a socialist philosophy. Huh? That made that man dangerous according to the plan of the government of the United States. The moment you connect with a philosophy that they consider alien, then they must come against you. If you're socialist, if you're communist, and you tie in to what they call international socialism and communism, you're a threat and you're going to be dealt with. You have to understand that. So in the 40s, they began on all socialists, particularly among the black artists. Communism attracted black intellectuals and artists in the 40s and 50s. Is that right? Are you all right? Look at Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey came with a philosophy that was dangerous to the government. Marcus Garvey said, Africa for the Africans and